Okay, after seeing Drake Bell enter the building, we are now waiting for the Drake and Josh panel to start. Should be starting fairly soon. I'll try to record about as much of it as I can.
Come on, y'all. Y'all give them a round of applause! John Turk the Ghost St. Nancy Sullivan right here. Make some noise! That's right. Y'all gotta give them a good Tennessee welcome. Woo! Hi, everybody. All right. I'm gonna ease down this way so I can get him to ask questions and all that for you on that part. So if you want to talk for a second, I'll ease right on down around the corner for you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, hi. How you doing? How's everybody doing? So, it's great to be here. This is our second time doing this kind of thing?
Yeah, we've only been here twice.
Not here.
But at a fan event.
And it's wonderful. It's so much fun. You guys are awesome, and it's amazing to get people coming up to us and saying over and over again, which is, and it doesn't get tired.
You were such a big part of my childhood. That's what everybody says. And you know what, you guys, those of you who feel that way, you have no idea how much it means to us that to keep hearing that.
Anybody got questions? Questions? If you got questions, put your hands up. Over there, where? Oh, right here.
Yeah, so I'm a huge Drake and Josh fan.
What's your name?
Niles.
I know.
I know.
I have to think of my first question here. I totally forgot off the top of my head. How often, since the show ended, it was 2008 or so? Yeah. How often have you all gotten together
Once.
as a cast?
No.
Since 2008.
We have gotten together as smaller groups. Johnny and I hang out a lot. People think that we're married sometimes. Do you think we should get married or date? Should we?
Hey,
So, I don't think, everyone's so busy. Is he gonna propose? Where's the Jumbotron?
that reminds me.
Yeah.
I actually watched the Affair episode the other day. So
Yes, the affair.
Nothing like being beaten up by a meatball. Right? And to answer your first question, Drake and I used to live like really close to each other. So for several years, we just were always bumping into each other, having lunch, just being goofy. We did this thing together called Where's Walter? Does anybody know about that? You don't know? You know about it. Talk to her, she'll tell you everything about it. So there was a year where the two of us were just making short films together. So we spent a lot of time doing that. And now he's off, he lives in Mexico, so I don't see him anymore. And he's on the road.
Don't cry, Walter.
And it was great. Last thing that we did in Anaheim, it was the first time I talked to Josh. I mean, we see each other on occasion, and then, everybody has lives. And it was wonderful to see him. He's grown up into such a lovely young man. So, there you go. Little detail. Anybody else have any questions?
I'm gonna get over to him in just a second.
You know what this means.
It's weird when you do a show because everyone always wants to hang out, but you kind of don't because you get really busy, but you want to. And we were such a family. It was really a really great feeling. And we used to go with Miranda to the movies every Friday night with her mom. It was so much fun.
So y'all, we gotta do this real quick. So if y'all would, you remember all that noise y'all just made a second ago? Make some noise for Drake Bell! ask questions?
Awesome. Awesome.
We'll come back to y'all. Got her right.
I cannot get over that suit. And the shoes.
Scooby-Doo on the suit shoes. That goes over the shoes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. So Miranda was so young when this show started. What's the difference when you guys work with teenagers versus children? Do you see a big difference? Like,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. What's the difference?
The teens are easier, right?
It's how do you what?
I said the teens are easier, right? We were easier than Miranda. Right?
Well, so one of the people always ask that question. It's like, what was it like working with Drake and Josh? And the answer is, we worked together when they were 14.
You were 12 when I started.
Well, you started 12. And it was like, have you ever hung out with two teenage boys? Sometimes it's great, and sometimes you want to put them through a wall. But it was mostly great. They were kids.
You know,
Kids
I
are
remember our pilot episode was like a year before we shot the show.
Wait, the original pilot?
The original with that
pre-me?
Pre-you. Yeah. So we had a different dad. It's a very modern family. So Miranda was only 7 years old, I think.
I think she was 9.
No. 9.
Oh, with the first
The
pilot?
first pilot.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, she was like 7. Because then there was a whole year that went by, and then when we came back, she was like 8 or 9. But she was like
So
7,
funny.
8, and she was just so little, and it was her first time. And I remember, like, we worked together on a managed show before, we worked on this stage before, so this was kind of like our house, These guys, like the new people coming in, and so I'm going upstairs to hang out with the writers where I always go, and it's lunchtime, and the stage is empty, everyone's gone to lunch, but I hear like behind me, and I'm like watching, and I look up behind me, and there's nothing, and then I look, and there's this little Miranda, like, and she's just looking up at me, and I'm like, where's your mom? Like she must have just walked out of the green room or something, and she just goes, where are we going? I was like, well, I'm gonna go up to the writer's room, and we should find your mom. But she was so cute. And then when we were asked for what we wanted for lunch the first day.
Oh.
You remember this? So we know that, they're gonna go get some Chick-fil-A or whatever,
Well, remember, in the interim between, she had gone to shoot
School of Rock.
School of Rock.
So she's on a big fancy
So she's on this
Hollywood
big
movie.
budget, studio film, and she comes back and they're like, we're in our schoolroom and they're like, Drake, Josh, what do you want for lunch? And I'm like, I'll get the pasta or whatever that they have next door. And Josh's like, yeah, I'll have the lasagna or whatever. And she goes, I'll have the steak and lobster. I was like, oh, honey, we got a different budget on this show.
My favorite thing she did was, it was her 10th birthday, and we were trying to get her in to give her a cake and surprise her. And we were having a hard time wrangling her, and Johnny comes out and he says, she goes, what's going on? And he goes, we're going in there. He goes, I think I'm getting fired. And he walked away and she looked at me and she goes, well, I hope the next one's cute. She's like 9 years old. You never heard that? We keep coming up with stuff that we've never
I
heard.
know, I love it. We need a podcast.
Got a question over there.
What's the most amazing, terrible, or embarrassing thing that's happened to you on the set?
Oh, I got plenty. Do you remember? Well, that's just because you don't really know me. You know Walter. I'm crazy, so
Yeah, Walter's normal.
Do you remember the episode where I'm in a dress?
I remember that.
Yeah.
You're straight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they're putting this thing on. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be fun going on set. and everybody's gonna make comments, I'm gonna be the center of attention, oh, this is gonna be cool. I go out on set, I'm walking out in this dress, and it was like nothing. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm an adult on Nickelodeon. Of course, nobody cares that I'm in a dress.
All right, Johnny, can you get on your mark, please?
Yeah, I was like, wait, but nobody's gonna like it. You look good. Nothing. That was it.
I remember when we did the Sheep Thrills episode, which originally had a kangaroo instead of a sheep. And the kangaroo, you cannot train a kangaroo apparently. It was trashing the place. And the trainer says to the producer, he's like, well, you can't train a kangaroo. So they had to kind of rap for the day and rewrite it. And then I remember we were in Megan's room, the boys' room, and there was a sheep there. And in the middle of one of my lines, I heard this thing that sounded like a hose on the floor. And the sheep was peeing on the floor. Everyone started laughing.
It did more than pee.
It was loud. Working with animals.
It was the kangaroos, man, was so. I couldn't believe we had to put a bunch of trash cans. Like they were like, you can't wrangle a kangaroo. Like you can't tell. It's just gonna
They keep everything.
Like it's just gonna do what it does. So let's see if it works in the scene. They had all these trash cans like blocking because it just kept jumping out of the scene and kicking things and hitting things. Finally, we were like, this is not. But you know, I don't think they. I was like, this is not safe for us. But they really didn't care because my first episode back after my car accident. Okay, I got in a car accident. I'm sitting at a red light. A guy fell asleep at the wheel and hit me head on. I lost a bunch of teeth. I broke my jaw in 3 places. I fractured my neck. I'm in bed for 3 months. And the first episode that I come back to after I have like my jaw unwired and wired shut for 3 months, and finally it's like, okay, I'm still fragile. I'm back to work. The first episode, they're like, hey Drake. So this episode is about a guy who wants to steal an orangutan because he eats orangutans. So here, hold this orangutan. And it's like, I'm broken. I'm like, I'm just gonna knock my teeth out. You guys handed me a monkey. not a little like spider monkey. Like here's an orangutan. I was like,
Well, I have something to tell you now that you're a little older. I said to Drake when he got in that horrible accident, I visited you one day, and I said, the guy that hit you, I go, what happened? You said, I think he fell asleep or he's on medication, and I go, well, was he elderly? And you go, yeah, he must have been 50.
I don't know.
Doesn't seem so far away anymore.
No, it doesn't. I told Johnny last night, we were in the Uber last night, and I said, no, well, for this many years, and he turns around and he goes, oh. How old are you? He's like, yeah, we've been together for a long
We
time.
still call them the boys, though.
I know.
You'll always be the boys.
Yeah.
Aww.
Got a question right over here.
Hi. This is sort of a two-parter. Just for Drake, favorite Drake quote, and then for everyone, what was your favorite episode to film?
Man, I don't know. Let me think about it. You guys tell yours and I'll think about it. What's your favorite episode of the show? Film.
Mine was the storm, because everybody was there. Josh was there for a second, but it was amazing because we've been doing the show for years, and all these wonderful little characters would show up, and to have them all there at the same time was just it was a great party. It was so much fun, and the only thing that was awful about it was they sing the song at the end, but I wasn't allowed to because I was still getting rained on. But it was still, that to me was the most fun, just having everybody there. There was a lot of camaraderie and good cheer, so that was my favorite
I liked the Demonator, the one with the roller coaster, and I liked it because I got to wear a fabulous dress, and Miranda and I got to talk about Bruce Winchell and talk about how wonderful his hair was. I always loved to tease Johnny.
Which was interesting because, you know, I'm not Walter. So this is a character, so she make fun of me about a character's sadness about another character. Do you get how meta that is? Right?
He's Walter-ish.
Walter and Jason.
I still don't have a line. South America. Okay, I think probably one of the most, like, the lines that I don't understand why it's a joke or why it is so popular, but it's popular in multiple languages and it was not written as a joke. The scene is, a guy comes into the premiere theater and he's robbing the theater and he says, "Hey, give me all your money." You know, and I go, "Whoa, take it easy, man." That's all. Why did you laugh? It's not a joke. I'm just telling him to take it easy. I don't get it. So then, we do a reenactment. Obviously, you guys have seen the episode. And then I go, "Whoa, just take it easy, man." Because now I'm acting. And obviously, like, Drake is a bad actor. Whatever. The character. So I just did it like that. I was like, "Oh, whoa, just take it easy, man." And it became, hug me, brother. South America, where's the door hole? Hug me, brother. Headaches, you give me headaches. Spherical, it's spherical. I mean, like, if you went through all of the lines and put them all on a board and said, "Oh, okay, which lines from Drake and Josh do you think are going to be, like, stand the test of time?" "Whoa, take it easy, man," wouldn't even be on the wall. Like, it wasn't written as a joke. It's so crazy. And it's meant, oye, tranquilo, viejo. It's like, it's a meme. It's like all over the place. And I'm like,
It was so you though.
Yeah,
like most people would like scream or something, and you're just like, "Hey,
yeah,
take it easy, man,"
just,
right?
Yeah, and I think the whoa, like the bad acting one is what the meme is. I don't know, but that's cool.
All right, got a question back here in the back. I'm over here back on this side of here. You ready?
Hi, my name is Mia. What was your least favorite part?
What was your least favorite part?
My least favorite part was probably that we had to go to work so early in the morning. And it was like school. It was like I had to get up so early in the morning.
I want to let you
And
get closer.
that, I think, was the biggest issue for me.
My least favorite part was the fact that we would generally have, Nancy and I would have, you know, a couple of lines an episode. And, you know, it was hard, you know, actors have a hard, if you have a lot of lines, it's generally a little bit easier because there's context. I don't know, it's just a thing. But what was really annoying, and my least favorite thing is that we'd go to the table read on Monday, we'd read the whole script, and then the next day, the boys would come in more or less off book. So they always knew their lines, and Nancy and I'm speaking for her, but she's right here. I think you can attest to it. We'd be stressing out over our line. Oh my God, I hope I get it right. And these guys would just like.
Just like on an acting note for some reason, it's so hard. Well, not so hard, but it's much more difficult when you have like one or two lines in a scene than when you can get to the flow of a rhythm. Because then you're like, okay, I know what this conversation's about. I know what I'm supposed to be saying. I know we can make this start to flow. But then when you're just like in it and you're like,
You obsess on your couple lines.
Yeah, I always like every time I have a scene where I like only have a few lines, I'm like, oh.
My least favorite part was in the very first episode where Johnny ate onions at lunch, and then I had to kiss him. And I said, "What were you thinking?" And he was like, "Well, there was chili."
I have no recollection of that.
I know.
I don't think
I
that's
do.
true.
I remember that.
I think that's a lie.
So, hi. I was 2006. I know that's rough. But all my family was bonded together over this show because while I was trying to do math, it was in the background. You guys are talking about really big shrimp. And so my entire family just has like a bunch of Drake and Josh vocal stems. So Drake has already kind of answered this question, but do you guys have any like vocal stems you use from the show? And for Drake, I want to know, what would you change about Drake's storyline?
I want to hear that.
Yeah.
I want to hear that.
What would I change, or like where would he go?
Would you change anything about his storyline throughout the show?
No, I think it's cool. No, I think that the storyline, yeah, I think that it would probably go on to him trying to, get a career in music and do his thing, and then, I don't know, probably some comedy ensues, and failure and triumph, and failure and triumph.
What if Bruce Winchell was your real dad?
What's a vocal
We don't know.
The vocal stem, so he's already...
Like a quote.
Yeah, a quote that we just kind of say randomly within the context. Like, when I re-entered public school, I was very surprised that not everybody spoke in Drake and Josh vocal stems. So I'd be like, South America, my teacher would be like, shut up. But yeah, mine and my sister always go like, 1 in 5 people never make it to the ground.
Where did they go?
So just like a quote from the show.
But I think my favorite, because it's,
Jump out of a helicopter.
I think my favorite was because it's so easy to remember is touche.
Oh, touche.
I just thought that was funny.
And I did a lot of this.
So not quite a vocal stem.
Yeah. I like the have a nice day, don't tell me what to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got a question back here in the back.
So I grew up watching you from the Amanda Show, and I love your character Kyle, the surface. I don't know if anybody else remembers that, but so I've been following you. Yeah, it's a great show. So I've been following you forever, and did you ever think you were gonna like blow up and be this big? Because I know now you're super huge in Mexico, and I listened to your new song that you just dropped. It was amazing. I love it. And I think I speak for all the Hispanics, like, we absolutely love you. And I love that they call you La Campana.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, I just always just done what I love to do, and had such a passion for this forever. I mean, they can attest to it. I used to come into really great working on Drake and Josh and having, great time doing that, and my, acting was a passion, living my dream, but I was always coming, guys, listen to this new song that I made, or listen to this new, hey, Nancy, do you think this song, listen to this new thing me and Michael just recorded last night. Yeah, I've just always worked and music as well, and yeah, it's been a blessing to have audiences around the world that my music, not just the television show, but the music resonates with them, and yeah, it's really incredible. And I can't wait to take them down to Mexico and Latin America, and because the love for this show is just, that's why I was saying, like, the Oye Tranquilo Viejo, it's not even the direct translation, but it still works. And then they're like, you watch the show in Spanish and it's still funny. Like, it really has a universal language, our show, and I see that when I travel the world. It doesn't matter what country I'm in, they love Drake and Josh, and so that's been a real blessing. That's something I think that I didn't, to answer your question, that I didn't expect, is being able to go to some random town in some country that I never thought I'd get the chance to visit, and people are coming up to me in the streets and in the coffee shops and saying how much they love the show and how they grew up on the show, and it's unbelievable.
I think also it's a testament to the writers also, because a lot of the stuff that's in the show, if you're an old person, it harkens back to like earlier classic TV. So the writers had a love for the sitcom. So there was a lot of homages.
And I think that I was that's what I loved about our show too, because I grew up on The Odd Couple and
The comedy
I Love
duos.
Lucy.
I Love Lucy.
You know, I mean, I think that, you know, it's very rare because Lucy's the star of the show, but that show really was, I mean, Lucy and Desi are an incredible comedy duo, you know, like, and then what she would do,
Lucy and Ethel.
I was just, yeah, so I was always drawn to these buddy comedies, the Martin Lewises, the classic, you know, Odd Couple is the perfect example.
You know what though, Drake? I don't know if I ever said this to you actually, but when we were auditioning for the Amanda show, so you were like 12.
Yeah.
I was sitting with your dad outside, and you
Joe.
went in by yourself.
At Paramount?
Yeah, and we didn't even have the job yet on the Amanda show, and you had like, you'd done this thing with like 16 characters, and I'm like, I was talking to your dad, I was like, how old is he? And he goes, oh yeah, he's got like 16, 18 characters. I'm like, and he's 12? You just went in there and slayed it. And I just remember thinking, this is a special kid.
That's really sweet.
You know?
That was a fun audition. They did this thing where it was sort of like an SNL audition, which was really weird that they had for kids, because it's
I had to bring like 4 original
of your
characters,
original characters,
and then you had to read a couple scripts.
Yeah, so they had like some like a scene for you to do, but they said come in with 3 original characters and do sketches, like do skits with those characters. I'm like, okay, but I have.
You're like, I will do 5 times that.
Well, that's the thing is my issue wasn't how am I going to come up with 3 characters and do sketches with them. I go, only 3? What 3 am I going to pick? How am I going to do this? So instead, I was like, okay, let me see if I can figure out a way to like string all the characters together. So I did like this thing where it was like, yo, back on the mic with the posse that's fresh and new. It's a character crew kicking around and 2. We'll be hitting it quick with the woods. We shit, yo, homies, let's talk some shit, ahoy! Fight foot to the starboard bound. Hey, you, no, man, the covers and keyhole the mains. Ah, he's right. It's that great Captain Pomegranate. No, you know, that's the whole thing where they go into, it continues to go. I tried to remember it, but I got lost. So it goes into all of the different characters would go into, like one line would lead into the next line, would lead into the next character. Then I went in and I think it was 28 characters. And there's a I think it's online. I think I posted it somewhere. But the audition. But unfortunately it was the audition where, so the producers in the room, they were like on Drake and Josh, on All That. So like Brian Robbins, people, they're in the room, but I recognized them because they would guest on All That. So I didn't know that they were these producer guys. I just thought that I'm like, oh my God, these are the guys I see on TV. These are the guys I see on All That. Oh my God, this is really them. And so in the one that I posted, it's the only one that I have a copy of, I was so nervous. So halfway through, I just stopped and I'm like, I forget, and then they're like, oh, it's your forgetful character. I'm like, yeah, that's it, it's my forgetful character. And I'm so sad. You see it on my face, and I'm like, 13, and I'm like, and I just go, no, there's a lot. No, there's a lot more. Yeah, we can do it.
And I'm so bummed. I'm like, oh.
But I got the job.
One last one for you guys right here.
Yeah, I'm one of the elderly Drake and Josh fans. We still watch it. But I was wondering, you all had such a great show and a great supporting cast. You know, you got Craig and Eric and Mindy and Crazy Steve and all these. I was wondering first if there's ever been a talk about maybe another Christmas movie possibly where you all gathering back home.
People talk about it a lot.
And then second, Drake can't get away. I told my daughter I'd have you do one time tell us the name of the sheep.
What was the first one?
Christmas movie. Oh, I would
Will there
love,
be more Drake and Josh?
Look, I am always the person that says, let's get the Beatles back together. I would do it. I'm John Lennon. Anything. Let's go.
I'm the holdout. I'm the difficult one. No. I'd do it in a second.
As long as I'm not Yoko.
And honestly, what Nancy said earlier about like your guys' reaction to people that come up to and say, this was my childhood and all that, it really does mean a lot, and it is really the reason why we kind of really want to do it for you. It's when you get to be a part of something like that means so much to people. It's extraordinary. It's really great, and hopefully one day we can get through all the hurdles and the hoops and to make something happen.
Yeah, that's the bummer thing is you know, we always get asked by fans and everything is, you know, would you guys, I wish it was as easy as picking up a phone and saying, hey guys, let's get together.
If we were in control, it would have already happened.
But the fans can be in control.
That's true.
Yeah, keep the fervor up and maybe it'll happen.
Got time for one more question. This is the last question.
Hi, my name is Oliver.
Hi, Oliver.
Said hi there. So, growing up, I think the very first depiction of like, wow, that's cool, was Drake seeing you playing guitar and singing during the intro of the show. And that was like so cool at the time that I even remember like one of my friends in second grade dressed up as you and found a way for the talent show. But I just wanted to know, like, you talked about some of your influences TV-wise, but what are some of your musical influences that have inspired you in your musical career?
The Beatles, Jellyfish, Brian Wilson, Harry Nilsson,
Robert Palmer.
Huh?
Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer. God, I love that record. But you know what's really that record? Because his other stuff is cool.
Yeah.
But that record. There was one time we used to go to Amoeba in LA. There's a record shop, and it was walking distance from Nick on Sunset. And I was a music head. Johnny's a music head. So we were like, at lunchtime we'd be like, let's go scour the records and see. And he would always be pointing, you heard this? Do you know this Robert Palmer record? What's it? Sneaking Sally Through the Alley? Is that the name of the record?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. He's like, you heard this?
Great
album. So I'd go home with all these records that Johnny would give me at Amoeba, and man, it's just like, so you should check out that record, Robert Palmer, Sneaking Sally Through the Alley, dude. It's so good.
Produced by Lowell Joy. Amazing stuff.
Y'all, we got to cut it right here on that part. So y'all make some noise and give them a round of applause. So everybody stand up, so get it on the picture. Can we get T? Can we take a picture real quick? Oh, he's gonna do it. We'll get T to take it for you. He'll take it for you. He's gonna take it on that part. You wanna take it?